Hi, and welcome to this short overview of the COSHH and MSDS application we've created using Power Apps for Microsoft 365 and Teams. My name is Alan Courtney of KWS Application Services Limited. Having been involved in building applications for the quality, health and safety, environmental and other compliance software over the past 20 years, we've always encouraged people to create a unique access method and front end which reflects your organisation's needs and no one else. Because of this, our product focuses mostly on the control of documents and their data, so users can know what chemicals are used, what potential impacts and risks are, and controls, protective equipment, training and handling methods have been identified. Power Apps is a great solution builder, and we've included lots of flexibility and configurability of the forms to make changes to which fields we want to include, what fields are called, what choices are available from drop-downs, who gets involved in the processes, what error messages are displayed, etc. In combination, this makes for a highly configurable solution which can reflect your organisation's technical language and culture as well as its functional requirements. And Microsoft 365 and SharePoint Online are excellent for hosting both the app's front end and data storage, as this includes all the security and user permission controls that we need. For both COSHH and MSDS, we hold a range of core and supporting information. In the COSHH, we can link to one or more MSDS, as in the MSDS we hold a PDF of the actual product safety datasheet from the supplier. MSDS and links to their PDFs are shown in context in a gallery on the COSHH and can be accessed directly. So let's start by looking at a COSHH. Here you can see the typical draft COSHH form with configurable fields and drop-downs, etc. By configuration changes you can have 1, 2, 3, 4 or all 5 of categorization being displayed, and for approvals it's 2, 3 or 4 approvers. Another special field is the MSDS link field, where one or more MSDS can be linked to the COSHH. Here's a published example of a COSHH where 3 MSDS are included, and you can directly open the PDF for each product datasheet by clicking on the relevant link. So back to the editable COSHH. We've added pictorials for the safety symbols, a range of fields for things like PPE training, spillages, waste disposal, etc., and a section for each substance's exposure limits. When the fields of a new COSHH are complete, we start a formal version management stage using the named approvers. Here's an example of a document sent for my approval. As I've added supporting information, the approve and reject buttons become actionable. Also note I don't see buttons for the final manager approval, as this is for Tony Garraway. After a document is approved, a discrete publishing step can be actioned by just the owner. When you need to update a live COSHH, the owner uses a Create Next Draft button to make a clone copy which is editable until it is sent for approval. Again, once approval is gained, publishing can happen using a special Publish and Close button which makes the status of the second version as published. It also sets the first version as superseded. Now let's look at an MSDS. Here we have a blank MSDS ready for completing. Like a COSHH, it's got the normal fields you expect and up to 5 levels of categorization. Similarly, field titles, drop-down choices, visibility and error messages can all be changed. The owner can decide what fields they need to complete and when they want to publish the document, as they don't need to go through a formal approval step. There's also a mandatory field to add a PDF for the safety datasheet, and let's be honest here, the PDF is what people are interested in seeing, and the supporting data is generally of little interest to end users. When a published MSDS needs to be updated, when a new datasheet is received from a supplier for example, it's possible to use the Create Draft New Copy to clone the original document, but here the version number gets set to 999. The owner manually changes the version number to reflect whatever version number is displayed on the current datasheet from the supplier. It can then be published. And finally, regarding displaying and accessing data, as we said, each organisation's front-end needs are likely to be different, and we encourage this and can either build something for you or help you build it yourselves. But whatever you do, always think of the end users first. It's true that the document owners and system managers need to have their approaches, but the daily users should be the number one. At its most basic, creating views in SharePoint and tying these to links on a web page is easy, so if your users want an odd view, then simply go with that and change it in the future if you need to. There's a lot more to this application than I've shown here, but I hope this gives you an idea of the basics of how it works, and if you would like to know more about it or have a demo or just talk to us about some of the other Power App based applications we've created, and we've got quite a few of those, do please drop us an email to info@kwsservices.co.uk and we'll get back in contact soonest. Thanks very much indeed for watching, and I do hope it's been useful. Regards and keep well.